Get away from her, you bitch!
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Ian, freeze! Get the cat! Get rid of the sound!
D is silent here, baby.
You're listening to DMR.
I'll be throwing one of these in with every purchase of 500 million or more. It's a piece.
1984 has been a tough year. Our sales are down, our growth is down.
Sonny, I brought you in here to grow the basketball business.
People don't know what the hell a Nike is.
What's a Converse?
NBA All-Star shoe.
Welcome back to DMR. Thank you for tuning back in. Much obliged. So I hope you enjoyed my interview with Uwe Boll, Hollywood director. He's directed over 30 films, 34 I think it was. So make sure you go back and check that one out on YouTube or Instagram. So today I'll be reviewing the movie called Air, which is the story of how Nike came to signing on Michael Jordan for one of the most lucrative and astronomical deals of the century, the 20th century that is. So it was in cinemas not too long ago, I think about a month or two ago, and it's come out on Amazon Prime. So let's go over that film, but before we do, let's discuss our main partner, which is none other than MJ Bale. Ooh-wee, look at the sharpness on this. So this is the Robertson Sand jacket and trousers. So first worn by Usain Bolt at the 2016 Spring Races in Melbourne, the Robertson suit has since been on a well-tailored sprint to become Australia's most popular suit. The premium linen cotton cloth provides a lightweight but durable wear, while the sand colour offers a fresh, dashing point of sartorial difference. So have a look at that. So if you jump on now onto MJ Bale, you'll actually receive 25% off at the checkout. That's right, 25% off at the checkout. An immaculate suit, no doubt, to add to your MJ Bale collection. So we've got the movie Air, which is directed by Ben Affleck and also stars Ben Affleck as well. Matt Damon, Jason Bateman, just to name a few. Plus Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker's in it as well, so it was good to see him back in a couple of movies. So this film is very interesting. So I wasn't bored throughout this film one little bit. So back in the 80s, it's got a whole heap of 80s nostalgia in it, which I really did like. I was born in 1985, so whilst I don't remember the 80s too much, it carried over into the early 90s, which I do remember. So we've got Sonny. He's played by Matt Damon. So he is basically the broker in Nike that is going to go out there and hunt all the up-and-coming players about who to sign on to Nike. I think back at the time they may have been third in terms of who was the best brand of footwear. I think Adidas was number one, then you had Converse there as well. So you have all these three that are going toe-to-toe with trying to sign on Michael Jordan. So what I did like about this film with the character Sonny is that the dialogue that he has between everybody that he deals with, being Ben Affleck, the CEO, or Phil Knight. You've also got Viola, who plays Michael Jordan's mother. It's all very, very cool. Very, very funny in times, and you've also got plenty of banter between all of the characters in the film. So I liked how Matt Damon has all the old VHS tapes, how he's going back through, looking and studying the players and whatnot. So Michael Jordan is like the white whale. Everyone knows that he prefers Adidas in terms of the shoe because they were one of the best at the time, full leather and whatnot. So it's going to be a very hard slog for them to sign on Jordan, but how it all pans out in the film is very, very interesting and definitely keeps you engaged 100%.
There's nothing cool about Nike.
You would have to have a pretty compelling pitch.
I can tell them the one thing the other companies can't compete with. Our basketball division is terrible.
I do not love it. This is where you come up with a brilliant idea that no one else can see. Let's hear it.
I got it. I found him.
Who's that? Jesus? Can't afford it.
I'm willing to bet my career on one guy. My name's Sonny Vaccaro. I'm with Nike.
Do you typically make it a habit of showing up at people's front doors unannounced?
I don't like to take no for an answer. Oh, man. Here we go.
So what I really liked about Sonny's character is that he basically goes out to the Jordans' house. Everybody says, do not do it. The agent, who's very comical, says, do not do it. And they basically said, look, if you go out there, you better goddamn well close. So very smart. He goes out there. He doesn't pitch Nike to the Jordans. What he does, he says that this is how the meetings with Adidas and Converse are going to play out. Then come and see us and we'll provide something very special for your son. And sure enough, those meetings do play out exactly how Sonny predicts. So then we've got a meeting with the Jordans at Nike headquarters, and this is where they come up with the idea of the Air Jordan. So they're pretty pumped when the look of it comes out. The shoe is handed over to them. Everyone's pumped. I'm pumped, you know what I mean? So they basically said, look, here's the deal. The shoe is Jordan. The Jordan is the shoe. This is how we're going to pitch it. So they basically leave, but before that, Matt Damon does a very epic speech with his utmost belief in Michael Jordan and how this is all going to pan out. And this is the shoe for him. So they absolutely love the speech. All of his co-workers love the speech as well. So now they've got to play the waiting game. So then Mrs. Jordan rings up Matt Damon's character saying, says, look, this is the situation. So we want to sign with you. And he's so pumped. He's like, yes, we're 100%. Let's go. But there's a kick. 250 grand is what the sign-on cost would be. The Mercedes for Michael Jordan. But they want Michael to have a percentage of every sale of the shoe. And Matt Damon's character just goes, sinks back. He goes, no, we just can't do it. It's not how it's done. This is not how things work. And she goes, I understand that, but this is my son, and he's not going to be part of this until he steps in that shoe. So he goes back to Ben Affleck's character and says, look, we didn't get it. They want a percentage of the shoe. And Phil Knight's character goes, just do it. Just do it. Just wrap it up. And that's what they did. So the most they ever made off a particular player at the time was $3 million. And in the first year of the Air Jordan sales, it was over $160 million worth to the company. Astronomical back in the 80s. Just crazy, crazy numbers.
You asked me what I do here. This is what I do. I find you players, and I feel it this time. Yeah, okay, it's risky. When you were selling sneakers out of the back of your Plymouth, that was risky. Don't change that now.
For a rookie?
Yes.
Who's never set foot on an NBA court.
That's the literal definition of rookie, yeah.
What's the plan?
We build a shoe line around just him. I need the greatest basketball shoe that's ever been made.
Who's the player?
Michael Jordan.
So now we get to the pros and cons for Air. So the pros, everyone does an amazing role in this particular film. I loved all the characters. I was not bored in this movie at all. I was at the edge of my seat despite it being a very heavy dialogue related film with one of the biggest sign-on deals back in the 80s. The story was very, very good. It flowed very, very well. What I also loved about it as well is that you don't actually see Michael Jordan in the film. You see the back of him and whatnot, but he's not a main part of this film, despite the film being about the Air Jordan and how it was all signed on and whatnot. So very, very cool movie. So the cons, I don't think I have any cons because this particular film rates very highly on Rotten Tomatoes, well into the 90s from both the critics and the audience score as well. So absolutely love this film. So we'll give it my number 1 rating. Would have loved to have seen it on the big screen despite it not being action or anything like that. But it was very, very cool on Amazon Prime. So make sure you do check that out. So thank you for tuning back into DMR. We are in the process of organising more interviews. So this show is evolving exactly how I hoped it would. So stay tuned for the next interview, which hopefully will be in the coming weeks. And as always, ladies on the Menjay.
Your motor
You have our attention.
You show up at the house?
I believe in your son. I believe he's the future. And his story is gonna make us want to fly. But a shoe is just a shoe.
Until my son steps into it.
You got a name for it? Air Jordan.
I don't know.
Seriously?
Maybe it'll grow on me.
So there you have it, Air, the story of the Air Jordan. Awesome movie, now on Amazon Prime. Be sure to check it out and also subscribe and join the DMR crew. Cheers.